Home Depot SEC on CBS. Tonight from Tuscaloosa, the LSU Tigers undefeated against the Alabama Crimson Tide, who come in at 7-1. I don't know how we're going to top Arkansas Ole Miss, but we'll give it our best shot. If you missed it in a crazy finish, Arkansas knocks off Ole Miss with a 2-point try in overtime. What that means for LSU and Alabama is that they both control their own destiny in the SEC West. Earlier this week, the college football rankings were revealed for the first time. Clemson on top, LSU second, Ohio State third, and Alabama fourth. Good evening, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. We've learned over the past decade that this rivalry has evolved into one of the most bitterly contested in all of college football. What makes a great rivalry in your mind?
You know, Vern, I've thought about this, and where I go back first is you can't fool the American public. They know when they're watching a game that this game means a lot, and the players in the game are at the highest level. This has really epitomized that two things. And I think this game sets itself apart in one way, though. Some of these rivalries are bitter. I think the word that best describes this rivalry is respect. Both teams know the other guy's pretty good.
Well, you know all about Stars over Alabama. We can't see them tonight because of the overcast and the rain. But two of the great stars on the field tonight will be these two wonderful running backs.
Well, college football is blessed with a lot of great running backs, but on the field tonight, we're going to have two of the best in all of college football, and both teams know that their running back has to be the key to their offense. When these guys have the football in their hands, not only are they powerful, emotional, and leading their football team, but any carry could take it right to the house and change that scoreboard. But you know, when you watch this game, you could just really pick out any position. And there are stars all over the field, and this game has stars on the sideline too, because we have two of the coaches in college football that are must watch. This game really has it all, and tonight it's practically for everything in college football.
Well, we have done this telecast now 9 consecutive regular season games between these two. One thing we've learned, it usually comes down to a fourth quarter finish. What's significant there?
Well, it really does. So many great football players that it's usually going to come down to people making clutch plays in the fourth quarter. And when you really look at it more closely, it's been the quarterbacks that make the clutch plays in the fourth quarter. Now tonight, we've got two guys that started off the year maybe as being managed, but Brandon Harris has come on for LSU. They think he's ready. But on the other side, Jake Coker has dreamed about playing for Alabama and leading his team to a championship. You know, those two guys are going to find their way into the fourth quarter and decide the game.
First on the field, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. One loss this year. That occurred here against Ole Miss. Can't hold Les Miles back, can you? I guess you could try. Let's go down to Allie LaForce with Nick Saban.
Coach, your defense is limiting opponents to just under 80 yards rushing per game. Leonard Fournette is averaging just under 200 alone. How do you stop him?
Well, you know, I think everybody's got to do their job. Everybody's got to play their gap. You got to leverage the ball very well, and we got to have more than one guy trying to tackle them all the time.
The last 8 regular season meetings between LSU and Alabama had been decided in the fourth quarter. What takes this game down to the wire each year?
Well, you know, I think it's two really good teams. Both teams compete well in the game, and they keep playing for 60 minutes. So that's what makes great football teams and great games.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Allie, thank you.
Nick Saban said after he looked back at the Ole Miss game, he felt his team was too emotional to start the game. That's why it led to turnovers. I think he's told his guys, settle down, play football.
And Allie LaForce has moved quickly to the other side of the field. She's with Les Miles.
Coach, LSU has lost 4 straight to Alabama. Why will this be the team that ends the losing streak?
All those opportunities are faded memories. It's all about tonight and the opportunity for our team to come in and play like we're capable.
You have the best running back in the nation, but no one stops the run better than Alabama in this conference. How do you impose your will on them tonight?
That will be a great matchup. There'll be a fight in the trenches, I promise.
Coach, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Well, the intensity of this rivalry has tripled in the last 10 years. They first met back in 1895. 4 of the last 11 meetings have gone into overtime, and it was an overtime game today that afforded both of these teams with an opportunity to control their own destiny.
There is not one player on this field tonight that played in that 2011 game. There's some that dressed, 3 or 4 on each team, but not one player played in that game of the century in 2011.
That was the last game LSU won. That was the game of the century for that year. Number 1 versus number 2. And LSU prevailed.
That was pretty good, Vern. I like that.
9-6. Well, you know, this one's not because it's only 2
calm it down. Calm it down.
LSU won the toss. They have deferred the option, and that means Cameron Gamble, number 36, will kick off for the 20th time this year. Kenyon Drake is deep for the Crimson Tide, along with Richard Mullaney. Short kick, it's Drake. He is spilled as he gets out between the 25 and the 30-yard line. Jacob Coker started his career at Florida State. He's a mobile native. He transferred here and says he is living the dream.
And I like the highlight we showed. It's been his toughness and running ability that has really turned on this team, and I think won over his teammates.
He did not start the Ole Miss game, which was an Alabama loss, in large part because they turned it over 5 times. Coker wings it left. Richard Mullaney, the slot receiver. Well, let's introduce you to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. That means cue the cow. Cam Robinson, All-American, is a freshman of the freshman All-American team. Not having a great season, so says his offensive coordinator, Lane Kiffin. Here's Derrick Henry, first carry of the night. LSU defensively. Neil Gotcha Lacouture, a freshman key. And Jalen Mills, veteran defensive back, starting his first game. He had a broken fibula sustained earlier. Henry. First down, Alabama.
Vern, we started off talking about the 2 running backs, but to give you an idea in this series how close these teams are. LSU in the 10 meeting, this is the 10th meeting between the 2 coaches, 1,160 rushing yards. Bama, 1,147, a difference of just 13 rushing yards in the last 9 meetings.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
First down 10. Calvin Ridley, top of the screen, up, bump and run. Short, Mullaney. Down the sidelines. Jalen Mills was the first man there, but it's another Alabama first down.
Lane Kiffin has taken a tactic that I have seen many times by Alabama teams. They use it in the national championship against LSU, is opening up, spreading the field with the passing game.
A quick snap. Derrick Henry gets the handoff. Lewis Neal is the defender, number 92. And again, hurry up offense. Coker alongside is Henry. LSU with 4 down. Corner blitz. Up the middle. Tackle is made at the 35 by Kendall Beckwith. That's good on Derrick Henry.
Well, the goal in this football game by both coaches. When you talk to the defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele, talk to the two head coaches, you talk to Lane Kiffin. They all say we want to get it to 3rd and medium. Under less than 3rd and 7.
Well,
that's where they are.
Goal accomplished.
Now let's see if they can make it count.
Kenyon Drake behind Coker, gets the handoff, comes right, cuts up. No, did not get the first down. Tackle again, Kendall Beckwith with Jamal Adams, number 33.
There's their two best football players, I believe, on LSU side, Beckwith and Adams.
4th and 1.
We're going to start this already?
Well, it would have been a 48-yard field goal attempt, and Adam Griffith is not having a great year.
Let's see if Coker doesn't try to run.
Ryan Kelly over the ball.
Ooh, that didn't look right, though.
No. And he did not get it. Jamal Adams.
Yeah, they did not snap the ball at the right time. Calvin Ridley actually passed the quarterback, so he did not have the fake of the jet sweep. Watch Ridley, it almost hits him. They were out of sort, and you cannot make mental mistakes against these great athletes. Jamal Adams knows it's not going to go to Ridley, and he eats it up.
So the ball goes over on downs. Well, you see Les Miles' reaction. How about the contrasting emotion from Nick Saban? Time called. Brandon Harris on the field when we come back. Ball goes over on downs. So Brandon Harris is on. And by Keithan Mouton is the fullback. Leonard Fournette gets the toss, comes left. Not much. Geno Matias-Smith drew a bead on him. Brandon Harris, the quarterback.
Well, he has really improved his game. Some people thought, I included basically, thought he went into a little bit of shock with that first start last year against Auburn as a true freshman. But you know what? The coach is talking to Cam Cameron and Les Miles. They said, no, it wasn't shock. He was enlightened. He figured out that he had to get better to play in this league, and it really, in the long run, helped him.
2nd down, 8. Play fake. Harris rolls out, pulls up, drills it. Incomplete. Traven Durrell was the intended receiver.
He lost his shoe on that play. That's why he didn't throw it well.
Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Hawkins, Tahuma, Posick, Clapp, Vidal Alexander. See the backfield. Third down, 8.
He was like one of the Chick-fil-A cows throwing a shoe on that one. Do they do that? The cows have shoes?
No, those are the horses.
City boy.
Yeah. That's that Detroit background for you. Harris. 4th down. Tim Williams. Pass rushing specialist for Alabama.
Well, it was an unbalanced line, but Tim Williams just got outside the displaced tackle. Instead of Gerald Hawkins lining up left, he went over to the right side, and he did not handle the change very well. On that play, Williams just beat him.
Cyrus Jones is deep in anticipation of returning the punt by Jamie Keane. 2nd in a line of Australian punters. Jones at the 15. And 3 and out. for LSU. That's a 56-yard punt. 11 on the return. Crimson Tide has it for the second time. Right side. Kenyon Drake fighting his way.
Late flag behind the play, too. Well, this has got to be a great omen to this Alabama team. Kenyon Drake, who struggled so much after his horrific injury from a year ago, that's his best run of the year.
Foul, face mask, defense, number 52, 15 yards added to the end of the run. Number 50 on the offense does not have to leave the football game.
18 yards on the play, 15 yards on the penalty.
Well, it becomes a 33-yard play.
Yeah, I think Beckwith's face mask was on Taylor. That's why he doesn't have to leave the play. It was, well, actually, if that's, I don't know if he got the face mask. I thought it was actually called behind the play, Beckwith on Taylor.
Derrick Henry with this carry.
Well, the big plays in the first quarter were made by LSU, but this drive looks pretty darn threatening.
Put one in the books and keep it scoreless. That's the end of the first quarter. Zip, zip. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message. And a word from your local station. We welcome you back to Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. Second down 6 as we start quarter number 2. And we start it at the 29-yard line. O.J. Howard to the right side. Here's Derrick Henry, gets a little bit of a block from O.J. Howard. Well, we ended the second quarter, no score in the game. We all come in with expectations. Anything that happened out here that's changed your perception?
Nope.
Nope. He is succinct after all.
A lot of good players, opportunities to make plays, but when you have the opportunity, you got to make the play. Both teams have had little mistakes and opportunities to make big plays, but pretty much like we've been seeing for the last 9 years, don't you think?
I think so.
Yep.
How about the battle with Henry and Fournette?
It'll unfold. It'll unfold. Something will happen
so we should
or later.
Not take much.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
Okay. Oh, goodness. 4th and 1.
You know, you can see the lack of faith in the field goal kicker for Alabama. I mean, they do not want a repeat of 9-6.
You like the decision?
Yeah.
What's not to like?
I liked it both times. I thought they were too far away on the first one to do it. I just didn't like the execution on the first one.
And by the way, congratulations to Austin, Hardin, and the Florida Gators. They fought. They turned it over 4 times, but they won on Hardin's career best 43-yard field goal. And the Gators have booked hotels in Atlanta.
And that was the boring game of the day.
You're right. It was. Kenyon Drake behind Coker. Kenyon Drake gets the toss. He's got Henry in front. Now he surges down toward the 7-yard line. Deion Jones.
Well, one of the reasons I thought that Derrick Henry was the most valuable player in this league for his team, not, I mean, obviously Leonard Fournette might be in the league, but for his team was because Alabama really hadn't developed a backup running back. If Kenyon Drake continues to play like he has in the first quarter in a couple minutes, that will solve that problem really quick.
Second down goal. Play action. Coker, chased by Beckwith, bounces off the tackle. 3rd and goal.
This was well defended by LSU. They attempted to slide the fullback into the flat. Nothing there, and there was nothing for Jake Coker to do to try to get as much as he could and take a hit. And he took a couple of them on that one.
Deion Jones, number 45, was there. Third and goal.
Not good when both linebackers hit you on a play. A lot of plays for Alabama are called at the line of scrimmage.
3 on the play clock. Coker drills it behind the intended receiver, Calvin Ridley. Jalen Mills defending. And Adam Griffith will come on to try and break the scoreless tie.
Wow, in the preset here, you got to figure that this is a great matchup. Ridley with an off defensive back, just a poor throw. Maybe 4 or 5 yards behind Ridley. If that's laid out in front, that could have been a touchdown. Probably should have been a touchdown. When you're in the film room, that's when Lane Kiffin is saying, Jake, you got to make that throw.
Adam Griffith, 10 for 16 for the year. This is from 22 yards away. Alabama scores first.
Yeah, but not the 7 they could have, so this is beginning to look familiar.
3-0 on the Griffith field goal. He will kick off. Darrell Williams and Darius Geis are the deep man. It's Geis.
Oh, man.
Michael Nicewinder.
And Nicewinder was the guy, the fullback in the flat on the prior play to third down. So as a reward for not getting a touchdown, he gets to go down on kickoffs. Performed very well.
LSU has 1 first down in the game. Fournette. Marlon Humphrey. Well, Fournette averages 193 yards per game.
Well, this is the stats on the left for Leonard Fournette. He has 7 150 rushing games. This is the stats for teams against Alabama's defense. For the season, only 1 team has rushed for 150 yards. Amazing.
Second down, 9.
He wins the Heisman tonight. He's going to earn it.
Harris dropped. Traven Durrell. Well, Fournette for the evening, 6 carries, 6 yards.
The Alabama defense has strung him out, and the safeties, Matthias Smith and Eddie Jackson, which were a worry for Alabama. There are more corners playing safety, but you know that front 7 has helped, and the 2 safeties so far have held their own.
Fournette is split. Now he goes back to set up alongside Brandon Harris. 3rd and 9. Sidearm. 4th down. Jonathan Allen in pursuit of Harris.
You know, Vern, it used to be when you did an Alabama game, you only needed to remember about 4 or 5 defensive linemen. Now you have to have a board with 9 of them on it. And they roll them in all game. They're all fresh. And I think this is starting to rival one of the best pass rushing defenses I've seen Alabama have for a while as well.
Jamie Keene, 2 really good punts so far. This one not quite as good. Cyrus Jones calls for the fair catch. That's a 41-yard punt. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Remember, as Ali talked about the injury to Jake Coker, let's go back to that first quarter hit in that shin area and see. Yeah, there it is right there on that left shin. Jalen Mills catches him right there.
He is back on the field. First down 10. Derrick Henry, the running back. Play action. Coker.
Got O.J. Howard big time. Yep.
Does he ever?
We all remember 2 years ago when O.J. Howard broke with that slant pass and impressed us, taking it to the house. This is a well-designed bootleg, one of Lane's favorite plays. It's kind of a boot action. They call it a sneak, and the reason they call it a sneak is they bring the back from the opposite side behind the line of scrimmage and sneak them over there. Well named?
I think so.
Yeah, got the visual? There you go.
Yeah, I do. Because I'm paying attention. 15-yard gain. Derrick Henry.
Well, that's what you're talking about. Any play. You know, you think you're calling a conservative game plan for Alabama or LSU, and a conservative call turns into a big call. The offensive line, a great fit that time by Dominic Jackson, struggling with an injury coming into this game, springs Henry, and once Henry gets into secondary, he is very seldom caught. Great straight arm there to get to the second level.
That's a gain of 40 yards.
Jeez, that's what I say, lightning. Both these backs.
Ashawn Robinson is in. He's a blocking back to the left side. Derrick Henry follows Robinson in. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Well, this was your typical three-play Alabama drive. I can't believe I'm saying it. Start out with a pass, then you have a 40-yard run, and then you power it into the end zone behind your big uglies who really had their best series of the game.
Adam Griffith is on to attempt to make it a 10-0 ball game, which he's now done. 10-zip.
This college football's doing pretty well, don't you think?
You know,
yes.
I
think we may have something here. I'm not sure.
Well, this is one of the great venues in America. Bryant-Denny Stadium, symmetrically almost perfect with 102,000 seats. Some more expensive than others. Ryan Kelly, Pierce Baker, the starting line. Dominic Jackson, number 76.
Mario Cristobal, the offensive line coach, mentioned around for head coaches.
Harris. Flag is down.
Personal foul, defense, number 95, face mask, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
That's Darren Lake. Apparently he grabbed the face mask of William Clapp, the right guard, number 64.
Well, Darren Lake and Darren Payne, 95 and 94, will play more in this football game because of the style that LSU uses. Both of them are nose tackles. There'll be some games where they don't even get out there. But in this type of game, they're going to find some snaps.
Well, largest deficit of the year for the undefeated Tigers of LSU. There's the old-fashioned I formation. Fournette, John David Moore, the fullback. Here's Fournette. Reggie Ragland was the first man there, number 19.
Vern, this is a very young football team LSU has, and now Cam Cameron, right there, the offensive coordinator, ex-NFL coach, he understands that he has a team that has to be patient right now. It'd be a mistake to overreact and make a big mistake right now. It's a long football game. Let's see what he does here. The quarterback on the road and a young team.
This is the first time LSU has made a snap in Alabama territory. Brandon Harris tries to slip a tackle. He's just short of the first down. Dalvin Tomlinson, number 54, and Reggie Ragland, number 19. Third down.
Brandon Harris averages about 5 to 6 runs per game. Some of them come off of scrambled pass calls, but I think in this game, because of the success that Joshua Dobbs from Tennessee had and Jalen Hurd, we may see more of those called quarterback runs. They got to find a way to spring Fournette, and that may be using the quarterback in the run game.
They slip it to Darrell Williams, and he's got a first down.
Nicely designed play. You bring Fournette in motion. You get a lot of eye movement by the Alabama defense. A little too much distraction, and they're able to pick up the first down.
First down 10. Fournette back on the field. Boom! Dalvin Tomlinson first there. Ryan Anderson second. Second down 12 after that loss of 2. Darrell Williams. That's Colin Jeter, the tight end, goes to the left side. Comes the blitz from the corner. Harris.
Got him.
Got him!
Yep.
Touchdown, Traven Durrell.
You got the exact matchup you wanted, and Cam Cameron pulled off a perfect play, and Brandon Harris delivered a strike.
Trent Domingue is on to try the extra point. Up and good.
Well, here's the start of it. Alabama and Kirby Smart gambles bringing a corner blitz. That means the safety has one-on-one coverage, and you get a receiver running at you full speed, he's got the advantage.
Brandon Harris on the LSU bench took that hit from Cyrus Jones, getting a little medical attention now. Looks like they're working on his right knee. LSU, that's only Harris's second completion of the ball game, but what a big one.
Hey, he's making them count. 2 for 77.
Kick taken by Kenyon Drake. Knocked out of bounds, but a fine return. Kenyon Drake behind Coker. That's O.J. Howard, goes to the right. Drake. A couple. Deion Jones, number 45 for the Tigers.
I'll tell you, Deion Jones and Kendall Beckwith have the quickness to the tackle. Remind me very much of the inside linebackers for Florida, Morrison and Davis. They just explode to the football.
Gain of 1, second down 9. Clock at 5:36 remaining in the first half. Play action. Coker got him. Jalen Mills. Lightning quick.
Well, Kirby Smart does the corner blitz, and it hurts. This time you get the corner cat, and Coker knew he was in trouble right away. Could not spin out of it, and another sack, another negative play, and another play where this Alabama team is way behind the chains.
Loss of 10, 3rd and 19. Calvin Ridley near side. There are 3 men. Top of the screen to the right. And off. It's going to be 4th down, and LSU will get the ball back. A little extracurricular activity. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Vernon Gary, a couple quick injury updates for you. J.D. Moore is out for the game. Also, quarterback Brandon Harris was getting some work done on his right knee. They were just massaging it. He got up quickly, though, and has joined his teammates on the sideline.
Can't go out of the game after a touchdown pass, right? Yeah. Whatever. I'm going back out there. One more.
J.K. Scott on to punt on 4th and 16. Dante Jackson, number 1, is back.
This one turned over nicely.
Did. Cats made it to 25. And he gets 7 on the return. Dylan Lee, number 25, made the stop. 1st and 10. Harris to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is the zone read keep that I thought we'd see. And this time they're running it off the defensive tackle. And when you run it off the defensive tackle, they're not used to having that.
Quick snap. Double coverage. Incomplete.
When you isolate an inside defensive tackle on the play, you've got a guy that's not used to doing it. This time it's a nose tackle, and you're running against a freshman nose tackle. Another well-conceived play by Cam Cameron. He's on a roll now.
2nd down, 10.
It takes a lot of work and a lot of hours to set up that play and run it exactly against the guy you want to do it.
Better hurry. They do get the ball snapped, and again.
I'll tell you, there were some questions about those safeties. Okay, with Gino Mateus-Smith and Eddie Jackson without having a thumper safety on the field. But you know for 2 weeks, they've heard the same thing. You guys are too small. You guys are corners. Are you going to be able to tackle Leonard Fournette? Well, he came up and just delivered.
Fournette, 9 carries, 9 yards. 3rd and 9. Harris down the middle, incomplete.
Be about a 40-yard field goal if they try it.
Trent Domingue, one of the heroes in the win over Florida when he took a pass from Brad Craigthorpe and bobbled it about 3 times, but scored on the fake field goal. That was the winning margin for Les Miles' team. This is from 40 yards out. He's perfect for the year. 9 of 9. Make it 10 of 10, and we are tied.
Well, about 6 minutes ago, it looked like Alabama had control of this game. And you know what LSU did? They kept playing.
2:22 to go before the break.
Followed by Woo Pig face mask, right, on 4th down?
Yes, it was.
Oh, my. Uh-oh. Went out of bounds. This is reminiscent of a year ago. At the end of the game, 50 seconds to go. Kick went out of bounds, and Blake Sims had a short field and ended up tying the game.
Tie game. That's a gain of 19.
Well, the final piece of this Alabama offense might be our Darius Stewart. Remember, they started out with Richard Mullaney being the go-to guy. Then Calvin Ridley emerged, and now they've added a Darius Stewart.
It's a first down 10. Henry.
He was always there.
Yeah, that's so right. 90 yards now. That's a gain of 11.
And now that little thing of that kick out of bounds allowed Alabama to open up their game plan. Right now, Ed Ogeron, the defensive line coach for LSU, is going, this is what I'm getting paid for, to produce a sack with my D-line.
First down 10. Henry. Nothing doing this time. Kendall Beckwith and Corey Thompson came up. There's Ogeron. One-time head coach at Ole Miss. Recognized as one of the, I think still is, one of the great recruiters in college football.
Like great pass rush coaches in college football as well.
Second down 9. Coker.
There it is.
Arden Key, number 49.
There it is. Arden Key, freshman, signed with LSU because of Eddie Ogeron. When they signed Eddie, Arden Key switched and signed with LSU. He said, I want to go play for a guy that can teach me how to get to the NFL. You know the easiest path to the NFL? Hit the quarterback.
Third down, 18. 31 seconds to go.
Alabama not using their timeouts, are they?
A little surprised. And they settle for the short pass to Mullaney.
Yeah, it turned out to be a good move because with that negative play, they didn't want to give the ball back to LSU, but a little bit conservative in my mind. You can't think you're going to get sacked.
Anybody remember the Iron Bowl 2013? Adam Griffith attempted a 57-yard field goal. This is from 55.
Yeah, good news for Alabama. No one's back there.
That's the first thing I look for. There's no Chris Davis.
LSU's playing a little bit safe on this play.
Griffith.
They don't want to fake.
Ooh. Wow!
He's gotten stronger. That was good from 58.
My goodness. There was this little matter that you mentioned. A little thing becoming a larger thing.
The kickoff out of bounds.
Exactly.
Well, and I didn't really think that Alabama could kick a 55-yard field goal. Now we know.
Well, the running back comparison for the first half decidedly favoring Derrick Henry with 90 yards. Fournette's longest gain, 4 yards. Let's go down to Allie with Les Miles.
Coach, this is just a 3-point game despite just 39 yards rushing for your team. How do you get Leonard Fournette in a better position to succeed in the second half?
Yeah, we did not execute the running game in the first half. It's something that we have to do, for us to maintain the ball and have opportunities at big plays. We have to stay on the field.
Defensively, what would you like to see your team do better?
We just need to tackle that big back at that one drive. Other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape with defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Simplicity is the way to say it. We just got to tackle that big back. I think he's right.
He wears number 2. His name is Derrick Henry. That's the end of the first half, 13-10. Let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. Kind of what we expected, a close game. Let's go down to Allie LaForce moments ago with Nick Saban.
Coach, you decided to go for the 55-yard field goal, and it paid off. What did that do for the confidence of this team, but also for Adam Griffith, who's struggled all year?
Well, I think it was big. You know, he hits them in practice, but it was great to see him hit it in the game. It was a big kick, so great for us, great for our team.
You've held the best running back in the nation to just 9 yards in the first half. How do you continue to win that battle up front?
Well, but we can't give up big plays. We gave up too many big plays. We weren't lined up a couple times. They're quick snapping us. They're kind of messing with us on the substitution, running guys in and out. So we just got to get lined up, get our players lined up, and play with confidence.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
LSU will get the ball to open the third quarter. Adam Griffith, after that 55-yard field goal, will kick this one into the end zone. Well, I asked you at the end of the first quarter, any surprise? How about at that?
I am surprised now. I thought the two areas of most concern for each team was Alabama's offensive line and how they gave up negative plays, and whether Brandon Harris could step up. I think they've been the two strengths of each team. Alabama's offensive line in protection and running for Henry, and I think Brandon Harris has saved LSU in this football game because Fournette has been stopped basically for nothing.
Big surprise in that regard, Fournette?
Well, you have to be, as good as he is, but I'll get back to this. This might be as deep and as strong of an Alabama front seven as we've ever seen. And they've showed it and played that way tonight. They've dominated the line of scrimmage.
Brandon Harris, play action. He rolls to his right.
Whoa!
Intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Lee. And that is the first interception of the season for Brandon Harris.
Dylan Lee may run right over to Kirby Smart and hand him the ball because in passing situations, Dylan Lee usually has to leave the field. And now he's going to say, Coach, I can play pass defense too, I'll tell you that. Cameron comes out and tries to make something happen. Ball was thrown behind the outside to Trey Quinn, number 8. And Dylan Lee runs underneath that and makes the pick.
That is only the third turnover all season.
Pointed to himself. He's right. Tried to force something in there. Coach gives you a play on first down. Anything but a disaster.
Kenyon Drake is in the backfield. Now he's down inside the 20 to the 10. Dives in.
I think looks like they have him stepped out.
I think so. Ball is marked between the 3 and the 4.
A little slip screen to Kenyon Drake. He gets into the secondary. Yes, he did step out. The crowd was going crazy. The players were going crazy. Vern was ready to go crazy, but the official stayed calm and watched the feet.
First down goal. Henry, touchdown, Alabama.
Well, I really love the patience of Lane Kiffin here. Stuffed on first down, stuffed on second down, and you know what? He tries to power it on third down. A lot of people, sometimes I think so too, to be honest. Lane would rather shoot the 3 than make the layup. This time he just kept going for the layup.
Adam Griffith with the extra point attempt. The first interception thrown this year by Brandon Harris leads. There's Lane Kiffin. Take us through this sequence.
Different generation of coaches. Lane's right out there participating, but it was all started by Dylan Lee. Undercut it, poor throw, then the little slip screen. And this, I think, is the one that Lane Kiffin is most happy about. He was ready. There's only a few times you can make the call and steal points, and then he stayed patient. And he believed in his offensive line and that one big defensive lineman, and it worked.
LSU about to get it for the second time in the second half. That'll be a touchback. Out of the shotgun, bobbled snap, Fournette. Listen to this, Gary. Well, first let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. Just a quick update on Brandon Harris. If he's hurt, he's not showing me any signs of it. He came over to the sidelines, put his headset on as usual, did not receive any medical attention. We saw him limping after that last offensive drive a little bit, but it doesn't seem like a concern to him at all at this point.
Second down, 9. Play clock at 5.
Cameron talked to him about this game, and he says, you know, we're going to have 2 game plans against this Nick Saban, Kirby Smart defense. It's the same way I used to try to do it against Belichick. They're so good about making adjustments that in the second half I'll come out with something new. He said the most important thing about that, though, the first half plays have to work or they won't adjust. So far, no need to adjust for Alabama.
Third down, 4. Harris batted backwards. 4th down.
Nobody does it better. They mush rush, not a lot of stunts. The big guys just push inside, and they bat balls down. A'Shawn Robinson gets this one. A'Shawn Robinson is lighter this year. He changed his diet. He feels he's a better football player. He's quicker. I don't know how you get much better than he was last year, but it does look like he's quicker.
Jamie Keene. Cyrus Jones calls for the fair catch and takes it. 41-yard punt. Leonard Fournette, 14 carries, 14 yards.
One of only 3 Alabama.
Oh, fumble. Henry gets it back. Oh.
Well, this LSU defense rose up last series. And remember, the story of the recent history of this series is LSU has only scored over 20 points once in the last 7 games.
Calvin Ridley. How about that little move? And he is popped as he nears the sidelines, but he picks up a first down.
Obviously, they're going to have to score more than 20 tonight to win. This matchup has a lot of factors, and one of them is elite players. Remember Julio Jones against Patrick Peterson? Well, you're looking at a new elite player right there in Calvin Ridley.
Henry.
Burn, as we're counting down here, closing into the 3rd quarter with the score 20-10. You start to get the feeling that LSU needs that turnover. And they're woeful at turnovers. Only 9 on the season. They're ranked 109th in the country. They need one bad.
Second down, 6. Kenyon Drake.
Holy cow. Before we did the Georgia game, Alabama versus Georgia, Lane Kiffin told me he had a long talk with Kenyon Drake. He said, Kenyon, every game you try to do too much, you're hurting yourself for the next level. Just be yourself. That is what Kenyon Drake looks like when he's playing his football.
See the rushing comparison. See Derrick Henry surge over left guard. Guy's pretty good. He's got 102 yards in the game now. His counterpart, Fournette, 14 carries, 14 yards. Henry with 102, Kenyon Drake with 70. Henry, first down goal, Alabama.
Nick Saban says he does not like to give his offense or defensive play callers advice. Right now, my advice to Lane Kiffin would be keep going for layups. Don't get fancy.
Henry, whoa, nice winder, helps him stroll in. Touchdown. Derrick.
Nice winder got the final block, but LSU's defense really sucked inside, and even without a great block by Nicewinder, that might have been a walk-in anyway.
Adam Griffith for the extra point to hold from Cooper Bateman.
What was that, 10, 11 plays, Vern?
11.
You got it. Watch how the defense gets sucked inside on this play with the play-action pass, and Nicewinder comes from the left side to the right side, gets outside. Ross Pierce-Baker, number 71, also got a nice seal block on the play. The timeout by Alabama, well worth it. LSU tried to use one. They could not get the stop. When you dial the right play, that's how you feel about it. The two running backs did a nice job on that drive, didn't they?
Oh, goodness.
Yes. We talked about how LSU, it might be one of the stories of it in this matchup lately. As we said, only one time have they scored more than 20 points. In every matchup, except the 9-6 game, Alabama has scored 20 or more. Not enough points when you get right down to it.
This is Darius Geis. Bounces off a potential tackle. Boy, he is a fighter. The student section up and noisy right now. Harris got a lot of time, but then that pocket collapses, and Dylan Lee, who is having a fine game, makes the tackle.
Well, what happened is Cam Cameron tried to do a double move to the outside. That's why Harris had to hold on to the ball too long. LSU is trying to find something to make a big play. That's the problem for LSU. They're not built this way. When you say, what do they got to do? If you try to manufacture a trick play, you risk the sack.
Fournette just cannot get loose.
Sean Robinson again. Inside at the tackle position, drives back his blocker and then lays out and makes the play.
Third and 16.
Not sure I've seen a better rush defense than this in a long time. Can't remember, unless it might have another Alabama defense.
Deep side.
Same play they tried when they were backed up before. Let's just try to throw the ball to the sideline and see if one of our athletes can save us. Doral that time could not. He did it earlier, but on that one he couldn't. And LSU forced to punt, and this thing could get out of whack real fast.
You bet. Jamie Keene. That one out of bounds, and it's very short. At the 39-yard line. Henry is out of Yulee, Y-U-L-E-E, Florida. It's just northeast of Jacksonville, Florida. Classified as a 4A school. There are 8 classifications in Florida high school. And he said they couldn't get, the high school coach said they could not get schools of comparable size to schedule them.
No, I don't.
So they
they'd have to tackle them. That's why.
The 7 and 8A schools out of Jacksonville. And despite all that, Derrick Henry rushed for more than 4,000 yards in his senior year. Corralled that time. Deion Jones. Final 40 seconds, third quarter. Drake on, Henry off.
Well, it's going to happen again in this series. LSU has only led once entering the fourth quarter. That was 2009, and that's a game they've lost. 7 times Bama led going into the fourth quarter. One of time it was tied.
Same formation.
Same play.
Yep, there's Stewart.
Pretty close, too, isn't he?
And that is the end of 3. Alabama 27-10. We will return to Tuscaloosa right after this message and a word from your local station. Derrick Henry has led Alabama to this 17-point lead as we begin the fourth quarter. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce from T-Town, Tuscaloosa, and a long night for Leonard Fournette. Kenyon Drake. Well, these are staggering numbers for Leonard Fournette. If there's a shock tonight, it's the fact he's got carried 15 times for 13 yards.
Well, everyone knew that for Leonard Fournette to win the Heisman, he's going to have to go through Tuscaloosa. Everybody knew that in this football game. Now one wonders, has it flipped all the way to the other side? Is now Derrick Henry in position to be top 3, 4 in the talk, or can Leonard Fournette get back into it? You know, I mean, I don't like to talk about it too much, but, you know, the way Henry has played in this football game and the way Fournette's been shut out, there's going to be ramifications.
This one, the tackle is made on Kenyon Drake by Dwayne Thomas, number 13. Well, and you think of the list, he's been a prohibitive favorite since the Auburn game when he began that streak of 3 consecutive games with 200 yards plus. Well, Trevon Boykin, who's been second on most lists, threw 4 interceptions today.
They lost as well. Yeah. You know, Vern, what this says is that we do know Leonard Fournette is the same back he was going into this game.
Absolutely.
Right? So what you know is that the guys around him could not produce the openings.
And give credit to that run defense of the Crimson Tide. O.J. Howard, number 88. Here's Coker. Got it! Ardarius Stewart.
They drag across the tight end and then put Stewart out. You know what really stood out there? The time that Coker had to wait to throw that ball. And now right back into field goal range. Kenyon Drake played his part, and on that last one, he actually stayed in and helped in the pass protection.
So here's Griffith with a 55-yarder at the end of the first half. This was from 30 yards out. 3 for 3. Got off to a horrendous start this year. Missed his first 4. Came into tonight 10 of 16, but surging with confidence right now, I am sure. 30-10. That's a golf clap.
Very polite.
And there's the guy who told us he is living the dream. Starting quarterback for the Crimson Tide, having started his career at Florida State University. Here's Griffith. Darius Geis. Minka Fitzpatrick. Left side caught. That's Deshaun Smith, number 89.
Tight end in the slot, match up against Ragland. Actually, it's a zone combo look, and sometimes the that looks like it's coming back too, Vern.
Oh boy.
Watching the replay thing here.
Face, number 90 on the defense.
Oh no.
15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
The players all thought it was coming back. The LSU players had walked back. The Alabama players had walked back. And when they met, the officials said, oh, no, we're tacking it on to the end of it. Let's see if we can see where it happened. Right in the middle, right there. Yeah, good call.
Fournette. Longest run of the game by far.
Got to the edge finally, didn't he? As a running back, you just have to say, I run my style, I trust my offensive line, even if they don't deserve it. But tonight, I just got to keep running.
That's a gain of 18. That's a gain of 1. If that. Reggie Ragland, Geno Matthias Smith. .10:37 to go. Alabama makes 4 defensive substitutions. Second goal. Toss, Fournette. That should be a touchdown. It is.
Well, nothing to do here but just push it in. Use all the strength that you got and get it in there.
Trent Domingue for the extra point. Brad Craigthorpe will hold. And Reed Ferguson is the snapper.
Oh. Glad I only drew a half line through. Blocked. And it's live.
Blocked by A'Shawn Robinson.
What a game A'Shawn Robinson has had. He's batted down passes. He's made plays in the backfield. And this time, big 86 right up the middle leap. That man weighs 325 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. And he leaps the line of scrimmage like that and swats it. Alabama is onside kick. They're just playing their normal kickoff return unit here. Would Les try something this early?
Still got 9:18 to go. No.
And out
again?
Of bounds. Oh, it didn't.
Oh, it stayed in.
It took a bounce the other way. How about that?
Wow, Kenyon Drake pinned inside the 10.
A late flag came in, I believe.
Ridley. Jamal Adams.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Right now, Jake Coker, Lane Kiffin, and Nick Saban has to remind their backs that ball security is more important than yards right now.
Second down, 16.
Not that yards aren't important, but ball security tops it.
See how the play clock stands when they do snap the ball. They're listening here.
Under 5.
Henry.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Well, we started off the game calling these two guys Raging Bulls. RB. Well, the Raging Bull right here refused to be taken down. 1 tackle, 2 tackle, 3 tackles. And he falls forward.
In the Alabama win at Texas A&M, he had 32 carries for 236 yards. Tonight, 34 carries for 158.
And something just as important, no punt return coverages. Punt coverages. He's not on the punt team anymore.
Henry. Stiff arm.
Well, this was a misalignment, a busted assignment by LSU. 3 guys to one side. They were overloaded to the wide side of the field, but I think they were misaligned, and the draw play to the left just cashed them.
How about that stiff arm? And now with 187 yards, 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry.
And look at that, he did not go out of bounds. At least Lane Kiffin didn't think he went out of bounds. Same play, coming behind number 46. He might not be a true fullback, but he's an awful good-looking H-back. And Tre'Davious White, number 18, is sick of looking at him.
4th first down on this drive. And they're just chewing the clock up. 2 minutes to go in the game.
And right now, Mississippi State, who basically played Thursday, so it's going to be the 4th game in a row Alabama will face a rested team, is saying, we got this guy next.
That should be enough to put him over the 200-yard mark for the night. Alabama next. On the road, heading to Starkville.
What a drive, huh?
Oh, my gosh. Can't wait to get there.
We're going to Starkville.
Here's Henry again. And then we will be in, even the locals call it Stark Vegas.
Well, we have a new leader that's going to control his own destiny now, the Alabama football team in the SEC West. And I believe we may have a new Heisman front runner in Derrick Henry. This was a great pressure drive by this Alabama football team. LSU, when you get right down to it again, they couldn't get over 20 points, and they couldn't stop the run.
43 seconds remaining. Let's give it to Derrick Henry one more time.
Let's just hope on that one Derrick Henry didn't get injured on his one more time. Isn't it time to get him out of there? Or wasn't it time to get him out of there the play before?
Yes. Well, you see the graphic, 38 rushes tonight, tied for 3rd most in Alabama history. Tell you what, Michael Nicewinder has had a fine game tonight.
He likes coming around from that H-back position from one side to the other.
Alabama got a huge break this afternoon when Arkansas defeated Ole Miss in overtime. Then they made their own good fortune tonight by holding that man to 31 yards on 19 carries. And that man had a great night. Let's go down to Allie, who's with Nick Saban.
Coach, we all knew your front seven was one of the best in college football. Did you know they were this good?
Well, they did a nice job against the run, you know, but the whole team defense did a good job. But really, I think I told you earlier, this is a team game. We kept the ball on offense, did a great job on offense of keeping the ball. They didn't have the ball that much, so it's a team thing when you stock a great player like that.
Each week there's more pressure, there's more at stake, but your team continues to respond. How proud does that make you as a coach?
Well, you know, I'm just happy that the guys did a great job in this game. We got 24 hours to enjoy it, and then we got a big challenge next week. But, you know, we just got to go 1-0 in every game.
Everyone was talking about Leonard Fournette, but how about your running back, Derrick Henry, and the way he
did a great job here today, man. Proud of him, boy. He had a great game. Play with a lot of toughness, and you know we were physical on offense today, and I think that was the difference in the game.
Congratulations on the win to both of you.
Thank you.
Right here with Tom.
Well, the Raging Bulls, Gary called them some 3.5 hours ago. A nice moment here. Leonard Fournette, Derrick Henry. And we caught a little bit of a break from the weather as well. Rained for almost 24 hours straight, but it held off tonight. So the Alabama Crimson Tide prevails for the 5th consecutive year over LSU. Final score, Alabama wins it 30-16. For Gary and Allie, I'm Vern Lundquist. So long from Tuscaloosa.